This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Eric Morton of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell. Make sure that you never miss the latest from Disney theme parks around the world. Here now is the news for May 27th, 2024. Happy Memorial Day. According to the Walt Disney World website, the Hall of Presidents will be closed for 2 days in June in the Magic Kingdom's Liberty Square. The attraction's operating hours are absent for June 9th and 10th on its webpage, while hours for dates before and after during the month of June remain normal. The attraction is not listed on any refurbishment calendars that we've seen. However, the space has occasionally been used for special events in the past. Quick note, that does fall during the dates for the Tiana's Bayou Adventure media event, so I suspect something's happening there. Disney filed a notice of commencement permit last week for a new Country Bear Musical Jamboree sign at Magic Kingdom. The permit contracts John Richards' company to install signage at the Grizzly Hall address. John Richards has previously created themed signs, sets, and lighting for Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resort. Grizzly Hall is home to the Country Bears, of course. In April, the Country Bear Jamboree sign was covered up to make way for the new Country Bear Musical Jamboree signage that's coming. Country Bear Jamboree closed in January. The new show will debut this summer, although an opening date has not been announced. Walt Disney World is hopping on the Stanley trend with a new Pirates of the Caribbean tumbler inspired by that signature Stanley design. The tumbler features the wider top half and slimmer bottom half that Stanleys are known for, which means they can hold more liquid but also fit in a standard cup holder. It's a sort of coral color with a silver design on one side featuring crossed swords, a skull, an anchor, a ship, and a compass rose. A quote in circle reads, "Always be yourself unless you can be a pirate." It has a rectangular handle with black stripes through it. It includes a black lid and translucent straw. The lid includes flexible silicone around the straw holes to keep that straw in place. The tumbler is stainless steel. It appears to be about 40 ounces. We found it in Plaza del Sol Caribe Bazaar, the Pirates of the Caribbean gift shop in Magic Kingdom. It costs $39.99. The Cake Bake Shop by Gwendolyn Rogers at Disney's BoardWalk now has signage. 2 signs were added to the building that once housed the ESPN Club and will soon be home to a table service restaurant and bakery. The signs are white rectangles with the Cake Bake Shop in golden lettering. Cake Bake is surrounded by golden filigree. There are subtle dots all over the signs, too. One sign is above the bakery entrance and another is above the table service restaurant entrance. The signs are almost identical in design. The final paneling around the signs has not yet been installed. According to the concept art, the final restaurant will be white with dark rooftops lined with lights. The Cake Bake Shop retains the basic shape of the old ESPN Club, but the facade's walls were demolished to be rebuilt with more windows. The Cake Bake Shop was originally scheduled to open in 2023, but was delayed until 2024. An opening date has still not been announced. Gwendolyn Rogers began hiring leadership for the location back in December, and other positions started hiring in March. Doubloon Lagoon Pool, the aquatic play area, and Mardi Grogs Pool Bar at Disney's Port Orleans Resort French Quarter are back open after routine refurbishment. They closed back in February. A Mardi Gras band of alligator figures leads guests to the pool area. The Doubloon Lagoon decorations haven't changed much. Guests are greeted by a larger-than-life jester figure. The pool also features scales. There's a 51-foot-long sea serpent slide. When we checked on the refurbishment project back in February, the pool's lining had been removed to be replaced. The nearby spa area with a whirlpool was also closed. It looks like the flooring of the aquatic play area was refreshed. This water play area is for guests 48 inches and under, so sorry, guys. It features water slides, fountains, and water cannons. Construction walls are also down at Mardi Grogs. The bar features black and white tiles and blue-green trim. Mardi Grogs serves specialty cocktails, beer, wine, and non-alcoholic drinks. The bar also has food like wraps, salads, and Mickey-shaped pretzels. Did you know there's a way you can save big at Disney Deluxe Resorts? Today's show is brought to you by DVC Rental Store, a great way for you to plan a luxury Disney vacation on a modest budget. You don't need to sign up for a full DVC contract, but instead, they will allow you to rent the points you need for a magical stay. It really is the best way to stay deluxe at a fraction of the cost. And now, thanks to their lowest price guarantee offer, you'll always have the best price on the market. The rooms are discounted up to 75%, and they have the largest member inventory for points, so lots to choose from. You can search their availability for free right now, which is actually not something that all rental companies offer. And if you do choose to book, they have a great cancellation policy and a low down payment. DVC Rental Store is the #1 DVC rental company in the U.S. and one we have used many times over, so head on over to the description to check them out. Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger says people should embrace new technologies like controversial artificial intelligence, or AI. Iger discussed new and changing technologies with Canva co-founder Melanie Perkins on Thursday morning at the Canva Create Showcase. Iger is an investor and board member of the graphic design platform. He praised Canva for incorporating generative AI tools and other cutting-edge technologies. He said Walt Disney himself was a big believer in using technology in the early days to tell better stories, and he thought that technology in the hands of a great storyteller was unbelievably powerful. Iger said the current anxiety about AI replacing human labor is the wrong perspective. Don't fixate on its ability to be disruptive. Fixate on tech's ability to make us better and tell better stories, Iger said. Not only better stories, but to reach more people. AI was a major issue discussed during last year's WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes. Writers and actors demanded safety from being replaced by the technology and their writing, voices, in images being used in AI without their consent. Disney created an AI task force to evaluate future uses of the technology. Last summer, Disney and Marvel's Secret Invasion caught flack for the AI-generated opening sequence. At Canva Create, Iger said there's no option but to figure out how to make AI work to enhance movies, TV shows, music, and other content. Quote, "You're never going to get in the way of it. There isn't a generation of human beings that has ever been able to stand in the way of technological advancement. What we try to do is embrace the change that technology has created and use it as the wind behind our backs instead of wind in our faces." Iger told Perkins to stay true to the company's core ideals of simplifying tech tools and building architecture that helps power creativity. He pointed to Disney and Coca-Cola companies as examples of companies that were popular back in the 1920s and still have recognizable brands. There's this belief sometimes that adjusting your values is necessary to adjust to the world that has changed, he said, noting he doesn't subscribe to that. Think about what Canva is today and the business you have today because of the values that were imbued in the brand and the company culture years ago. That value creation should be ongoing. Abandoning those core values that got you where you are is what, in my opinion, results in the extinction of brands and companies. Fantasmic resumed performances at Disneyland a year after a sudden pause due to the fire, of course, that destroyed the show's Maleficent dragon. Fantasmic is mostly the same as it was prior to April 2023, but there are two major changes which Disney previously announced. The Peter Pan sequence using the sailing ship Columbia was restored. In 2016, they got rid of that for the Pirates of the Caribbean sequence, which ran until that 2023 hiatus. The other big change is with the show's climactic sequence. Mickey still battles Maleficent. However, she stays in humanoid form instead of transforming into a dragon. Maleficent is lifted 35 feet into the air by a rising tower, putting her approximately at the same height as her dragon figure previously was. The exit music that plays after the show is completed is actually the original from 1992. We do have a full video of the new show right here on our channel. We spotted Bard on his first day on Batuu at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Bar, Tohan Ledge's droid, takes his place on a platform above the Black Spire Outpost spaceport. You can find him to the right of the Millennium Falcon. Bard has been added as part of Star Wars Galaxy Edge fireworks show Fire of the Rising Moons. The modified R1 series droid has been included, though not physically seen in the introduction of the show since its inception. Bard will be there to help to present the show, Fire of the Rising Moons. It's an alternative viewing option to the Disneyland Parks fireworks. It began during Season of the Force, but will continue after the event ends on June 2nd. It features John Williams' iconic Star Wars score and can be viewed from Black Spire Spaceport and the TIE Echelon docking platform near First Order Cargo and the Speeder Garage near Droid Depot. We also have a video of that here on our channel. Check it out. 5 months ago, foundation work had begun on the new Space Mountain at Tokyo Disneyland. Now, the skeleton of a large circular building is starting to take shape. Behind the current ride, a patch of land has been set aside for the new attraction. 3 cranes tower over the new structure. One side is round with steel beams surrounded by scaffolding. On the right are more squared sections. Paneling to enclose the building has not yet been installed. There are openings there for construction vehicles to move in and out of the space. Dozens of pieces of plywood cover the ground around the construction site, which was previously cast member parking. The shape of the building as it currently stands roughly reflects how the new building will look as seen in the concept art. However, most of the final shape will come from decorative white paneling that has yet to be installed. The current version of Space Mountain, which is a clone of the Disneyland version, will close permanently on July 31st. Orion Land Company announced a new version in 2022, and it is scheduled to open in 2027. OLC is spending $437 million on the attraction, which is rumored to be named Space Mountain Earthrise. Crews began clearing the construction site in late 2022, and OLC held a groundbreaking ceremony in May of 2023. The Tokyo Disneyland version of Space Mountain opened back in 1983 with the park. Richard M. Sherman, Disney legend and half of the prolific songwriting team of the Sherman Brothers, passed away Saturday, May 25th at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Beverly Hills. He was 95 years old. Richard M. Sherman and Robert B. Sherman, who passed away in 2012, composed music and lyrics for a number of theme park attractions around the world, starting in the 1960s with There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow for Carousel of Progress at the 1964 World's Fair, the Tiki 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 Room for the Enchanted Tiki Room at Disneyland, and It's a Small World also for the 1964 World's Fair. In the early 1970s, they wrote a second tune for the Carousel of Progress called The Best Time of Your Life. In the early 1980s, the brothers contributed songs for Epcot Center and Tokyo Disneyland, including One Little Spark for Journey into Imagination and Meet the World for the eponymous attraction at Tokyo Disneyland. Richard and his brother were inducted as Disney Legends back in 1990. In 2010, the Walt Disney Company saluted the Sherman Brothers for their musical contributions to Disney parks worldwide. They were honored with their very own window on Main Street, USA at Disneyland with the inscription, "Two brothers tune makers, Richard M. Sherman and Robert B. Sherman, will write your tunes for a song." The Sherman Brothers are amongst the most prolific composer-lyricists in the history of family entertainment and were part of Walt Disney's inner circle. In addition to the attraction music, they composed numerous songs for films, both for the Walt Disney Studios and others. The Sherman Brothers were professional optimists who found a perfect patron in Walt Disney. Their songs had an upbeat outlook that spilled over into Richard's life, which was not without its troubles and challenges, said film historian Leonard Maltin. He was especially proud that he and his brother carried on a songwriting career like their father, who encouraged them early on. Richard Sherman was the embodiment of what it means to be a Disney legend, creating, along with his brother Robert, the beloved classics that have become a cherished part of the soundtrack of our lives, said Bob Iger, CEO of the Walt Disney Company. From films like Mary Poppins and The Jungle Book to attractions like It's a Small World, the music of the Sherman Brothers has captured the hearts of generations of audiences. We are forever grateful for the mark Richard left on the world, and we extend our deepest condolences to his family. For the absolute latest on these stories and all those that didn't make it onto today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Inner Globe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. A special shout out to all the WIGS members watching who make this show happen each and every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Eric Morton saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.